Okay.
Hi, everyone. This is GKCS. We have Conor with us today, and Conor from Code Report. And today we will be live streaming the ACM ICPC 2019 World Finals. Yeah. So, Conor, would you like to say hi to everyone?
How's it going, everybody?
So what we are planning to do is actually have Errichto also later on joining us in the chat. He's probably joining after 30 minutes or something. So for those of you who don't know, ICPC, the 2019 World Finals is happening in Portugal. It's happening in Porto. And it's a really big event because it's like the Olympics of compared programming, where all the college students, or rather all the smart guys from college actually compete over there. Right, and probably Conor can give you more details on this because he's the computer programming expert that we have.
You know just as much as I do, huh? But yeah, this is basically like the World Cup of competitive programming. It's the best competitive programmers in the world. They competed at regionals, and then depending on where they were, they might have competed at nationals, and now it's the top. I don't know how many teams there are. I think 60 plus teams. And yeah, they're competing in a contest, and it's the last 2 hours of it right now. So I think we're going to try and screen share so you can watch the stream through ours. So maybe we'll try and test that out right now, and then we can start answering questions that you guys have and go from there.
Yeah, let me just search ICPC World Finals. The scoreboard, the live scoreboard is actually on. Let's see, who are the top participants this year?
I believe the University of Tokyo is in first place at the moment.
Just a second, I'll just try and screen share. And then guys, what's up? While we figure out the technical stuff, you can ask us your questions, of course. So, how's the job in Uber, Gaurav? Neelam Buj Singh. It's going good. It's actually going pretty good. Go or C++, Aryan Jadon. These are the questions which make me lose faith in humanity. Nitesh Kaushik. Hi, Gaurav. Hi. Okay, that's good. Hey, Nitesh. Let's just try and get this screen share on, yeah. Connor's trying the screen share too. Two computer engineers.
I'm not trying to screen share.
Okay, that's a bad.
Oh, I think Errichto. Yep, I have just joined. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Kamil.
Hi, guys.
So this is Errichto. Errichto is also an active YouTuber and a very, I think, very famous computer programmer. I and Code Report were actually talking about Errichto in the last live stream and how maybe we can get Errichto to participate in this live stream. So that's success for us.
Hooray! Are we live, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we are live.
I asked, are we live?
If you share the broadcast link that I actually sent, then it's going to go to everybody. So everyone can be live.
Okay, awesome.
No, but don't, yeah.
Maybe just us is enough. And what are we talking about now? What is happening?
Well, we are talking about the ACM ICPC like 2019 World Finals rank list. What we are trying to do is we are trying to figure out who's winning right now.
I heard that Moscow has already 9 problems from cheering and from what happens on the stream. So I guess right now they are winning, but Warsaw has very good time. If they quickly solve 2 problems, they will be ahead.
Wow.
Who's your money on to win?
Well, I really hope for Warsaw, and they have a chance. They have very good time with 7 problems, so I still hope they will. And for most of the contest, it looks like they would win. At some moment, it was 5 versus 2 problems. Warsaw on the first place with 5 problems against 2 on the second place. That was very nice.
Wow. Have you been watching the entire stream?
Yep, there are like 10 of us here. We have several laptops open with several streams. The leaderboard, the stream by Gennady, Petr, and Agorion, plus the standard broadcast, and we're cheering for the University of Warsaw. So we are now watching from the start for 4 hours.
Wow. So actually, you can see nine problems. Yes, you're right. So Moscow has actually solved nearly all of them. Warsaw, as you said, has also solved. Warsaw has also solved 8. All right.
I don't know that. The blue means it can be solved. They submitted something after the freeze. Not necessarily it was accepted. But I heard from the cheering that Moscow has those 2 problems that are blue in the leaderboard right now. So they should have 9. I don't know if Warsaw has 8 or 7. I'm not sure about that.
This is interesting because what about the red ones?
Sorry?
What about the red colored ones, the 2 tries? Is that wrong answers or like incorrect solutions?
So the red means that this is the number of wrong tries before the freeze. So in the first 4 hours of the competition. For blue cells, the first number is the number of tries before the freeze. We are sure that they are wrong because they were displayed during the contest. And the number after plus is the number of submissions after the freeze. And we don't know their status. But if somebody watches the broadcast that is there are cameras on teams. And if camera is right now on some team, you will see if they are happy or not about the verdict. So it's easy to guess which blue cells mean accepted and which are not.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe we can head to that URL. I'll try to see the live broadcast of the 2019.
The most convenient way to find all the links is to go to the Codeforces main website, and the first post there has all the links, including English broadcast.
Oh, wow. So that's the benefit of actually having a red coder on the live stream. They know everything about the computer programming World Finals. And of course, that's great. Oh, okay. So there's a mirror live stream by Gennady, which is, wow. Yeah, this is a really useful link. So I'll just post this on the chat.
Yeah, by the way, Gennady has already 9 problems. At least he had 9 problems like 20 minutes ago. So he is winning right now.
Okay, so Gennady wins despite not participating. That's so typical.
That's true. Though for the first half of the competition, Warsaw was winning against the Gennady. Just I guess once they had to solve some harder problems, Gennady is more experienced and his team. There's also Petr and Agorion, Mikhail, which are also very, very good coders. I think that Agorion won the ACM ICPC Finals. I'm not sure about Petr, but I would guess so too. So each of them is very strong.
All right. Seems interesting. And in fact, when we look at it from an outside perspective, especially a person like me who stopped computer programming a while back, all of this seems so hard and so difficult to follow, because there's so many teams, there's so much competition, incredibly difficult problems, and the margin of error seems really, really small. I was there actually at the Code Chef Snackdown this year, and it was incredibly tough. And these guys must be really, really well practiced.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's very hard to follow anything that once you have a full-time job or a family, maybe both, because then you just don't have that much free time. While going to the university, you can spend those extra 10, 20, maybe more hours a week doing something extra. So while I was practicing with my team, we could easily make several 5-hour trainings per week, plus some absolving. While for an adult with job and family, it's impossible. Even just being up to date with everything that happens in the competitive programming world, I think would take too much time. So I'm not surprised
I completely agree with
you aren't up to date.
No, 100%. I think that's a really smart observation over there. People with families, I've seen them working, and it's that they're very good at what they do because they are very practiced and quite smart also. But yes, it is difficult to put in the same number of hours when you have different commitments in your life. So yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to these guys. I think the people who won ICPC 2016. And they were talking about their preparation. So I asked them, do you prepare before a contest? And they said, no, it's just that we keep preparing all the time. And when we are asked to come to a contest, we come there and we solve the problems over there. But it's never that we stop preparing or we prepare specifically for any contest. We just keep preparing all the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I guess, in sport, it would mean that somebody practices football and there are some championships coming. You don't practice especially for that competition. You must be very good and that's it. Maybe, of course, you should know your opponent there, but it isn't important here in sports programming. So you should just be able to solve hard problems and that's it. It isn't necessary about this competition in particular, though on the other hand, some strategy aspects are important. Like in ACM ICPC, there's one computer for 3 persons, and that is different from individual competitions. You must be able to cooperate to use the machine efficiently. So you need some practice for that. But if you during a year make many trainings, if you go to programming camps like Moscow or Petrozavodsk, then you're ready for the finals. Even before that, the more you practice, the better you will be.
Right, and so that's really interesting, Errichto. Are you from Poland?
From Poland, yes.
Oh wow. Okay, so
I'm from Warsaw, and a year ago I was in the University of Warsaw team.
Wow. So you must be feeling like you have a team which you're supporting very, very obviously.
Yes. One of the participants this year in the University of Warsaw was my teammate a year ago, and I know all of those guys. We go to camps and trainings together. At least we were going to while I was still practicing. Now I'm retired and I'm too old, too many attempts. So right now I'm even not in the university. So I'm retired, but I wish I could still participate because it's a very cool experience going to those camps, spending during camps in a week like 10 hours a day or more, because really everybody does something. So it's normal that you stay till late hours in the night, solving some problem or learning new stuff. That's a unique experience. You will not have that anywhere else than the programming camp.
True. These competitions, they bring a lot of people from all over the world, and yeah, it's a fun experience. Also, the food is usually good, so yeah. I mean, the accommodations, I should say, they're pretty good. I think Conor has joined us again. Conor had left us for a while because he couldn't take the pressure of the competition, I'm sure.
I've been here the whole time. I just haven't been saying anything, and I guess I cut out. I did try and recently just ask something. There was a question in the chat that says, "How come Gennady's not competing?" And then I responded saying, "You have to be a university student / there are limitations on when you can compete to." And Errichto, you just mentioned that you've hit that limit. Can you explain the limitations on when people are allowed to compete until?
Well, some limits are the age. I think you must be 24 or maybe 25 or younger. You can attempt at most 5 times. It means the number of times you attend some national stage. At the finals, you can be at most 2 times. And yeah, you must be university student. Also, right now, I hear some cheering from the next room. So I think that Warsaw team has just solved the next problem.
Wow.
And
or they submitted it.
Sorry?
They submitted it. Doesn't look like it's passed yet.
Well, from that cheering, I guess that they passed. I guess there is a camera to the team, and they saw that. Yeah. So I'm past, I think, all those limits. Maybe I'm still young enough, but still I don't satisfy other conditions. And from the at most 2 times in the World Finals condition, you get some very strange thing happening, because some people skip a year to get better, to get a better team. Like the Mateusz Radecki from Warsaw, this year he considered skipping a year. Also, I think there is a team from Russia that didn't compete this year because they wanted to practice more for the next year. They will still be young enough, so they just want to be better and find a better teammate next year. So that is team with Umnik and Nikolai. And the rules are made this way, what makes it possible for more people to participate and win, fight for the first place. Otherwise, here we would get Gennady maybe winning for the 5th time or so. So there is some sense to those rules.
Give everyone a chance, yeah.
Yep, exactly. They try to be very open about the number of universities. Also, there is at most 1 team from every university. What is a big limitation? From University of Warsaw, I'm sure there are several teams that are better than some team in the finals. But there is the rule, at most 1 team from a university. And it will be harder then to get, for example, from University of Warsaw to advance to the finals than from some other random university.
Yeah, that's one thing. There's some popular universities, I think, for the not just ICPC contests. There's some popular universities for every sort of competitive programming contest, and they seem to be doing really, really well. I think this is on the live stream. You can probably see Alex. Yeah, is that him? Alex 2000, the guy who solves a lot of problems on Code Chef. I think I met him this year. Seems to be having a lot of papers.
I don't know how he looks like, so I don't know.
That's another interesting thing, actually. People who have never met each other, but just met each other through these contests, just as their username and handle, they meet each other for the first time in their life, and it's a great experience, I think, because you actually get to see a face and a body in something that you're competing with for a long time.
Yep, that's nice. You can meet a lot of people that you first sometimes you worked with those people. If you, for example, organized a competition together, or you tested problems that were created by someone, and then you meet them in person. So you actually meet your coworkers. Yeah, the community of competitive programming or sports programming is very nice, big, and you get to meet nice people.
Yeah, and just a reminder to all the Indian guys looking at this, IIT Kanpur is there. So I don't say that we have a chance, but that's great. IIT Kanpur actually reached the World Finals, and let's see how it does. I think it's on rank 72 or something. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, and well, everybody should have some particular goal. Like if you're in the finals for the first time or something, maybe getting to the top half is okay. So try to be in top 60, and that would be a good result. Those competitions become more competitive year and year, and now it's very hard to fight for the top spots. There are people that are very good, that spend a lot of time practicing. So getting the top places is a big honor and achievement, in my opinion. So that's just getting getting to the finals is already a big achievement.
Yeah, true. It's actually strange that I was talking to Gennady about this, and also people from Warsaw. As in, people from Poland and Russia seem to dominate the computer programming fields. So I was just asking them: is there any special schooling that they go through as kids?
I think both Russia and Poland has good skills in maths usually. Maybe our like what we learn in primary school or later, this is a bit harder than what other countries teach. And then maybe it's about opportunities. If a country isn't so rich, because Poland and Russia aren't very rich countries, often people go abroad to work, like in England, in USA. So people are more incentivized, more encouraged to do something extra to get to those companies. Maybe this is why more people get to competitive programming. On the other hand, also Russia and a bit Poland are very good in chess. This is slightly connected. I don't know the exact reason why we started being good in competitive programming, but now it's just perpetuating. We have good trainers, we have good old competitors who teach new guys. I also teach like some class in Warsaw, and because of that, maybe somebody new will appear in a few years that is very good, and then he will teach new people.
Whoa, okay, but are you giving any spoilers? As in, have you found a person who's going to be doing really well later on?
Well, it's about teaching some children, and one of them will turn out to be very good, right?
Right, of course. Okay, so yes, I completely agree. The culture that the older computer programmers build for the newer generation, let's say, is very important. We are actually seeing this in India and Bangladesh too. Earlier there were people who did it for fun, who were doing it. I mean, they were extremely good, but they weren't as good as the world's, to be in the world rankings. And now we are seeing a strong fight being put up by India too in a lot of fields. I think computer programming is helping, like you said, a lot of countries which are trying to develop, and it's a way in which people learn algorithms and prepare for their interviews sometimes. So yeah, a lot of people are getting interested in this, and some of them are getting passionate about it, and they're doing rather well. I think I and Conor have talked about this a lot, that computer programming and its relation to interviews. So maybe one day we can get rid of computer programming from the interview process. Just
maybe, but yeah, it's related to what I said about the incentive to try to get to a big company to earn a lot of money. Developing countries, those that aren't that rich, more people from those countries will try to learn that something extra to get into the big companies. And maybe this is the reason why there are some people from Poland and from India that try to do that.
Do you think as a company, let's say that you are going to be designing the company's evaluation metrics, their interview process, and do you think computer programming would be an important part of that interview process, or would you choose something else?
Well, I would choose something else. I think that coding interviews are too much focused on algorithms, but unless the job will be about algorithms. And because of that, like, something very strange happens, because people learn algorithms just to be good in the programming interview, what is stupid. So also you could just learn some strange language or some, I don't know, Morse code. Maybe in alternative world, you must learn Morse code to be able to get good in coding interviews. That's stupid, but this is how it works. I think companies are too much focused on that. Maybe because Google does that, because Google indeed needs very brilliant people that are good in algorithms, and Several other big companies do that, and smaller companies just try to do the same thing. They copy big companies and they require the same thing. This is my guess. This is my thought. What's the reason? I think they are too much focused on that.
I think what's happened recently, you're absolutely right. It is a little stupid from, I mean, my personal opinion is, yes, it is a little stupid. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, if you want to know how good a person is at algorithms, I don't really know. I mean, it's a little lazy, but you can't really blame the companies also if you think of it, because they have so many applicants and they need to get rid of a lot of applicants. So they have this one method which is kind of relevant to algorithms. And if you, that's the thing. I mean, through competitive programming, you can eliminate a lot of people. And these big companies, they can afford to actually eliminate false negatives. They just can't afford false positives. So they're ready to eliminate a lot of people. And for that, they are ready to tool use.
I stopped hearing you now. The connection is wrong, maybe on my end.
Conor?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I don't hear anybody right now.
I'm still here. I think maybe Gaurav's connection has gone out.
I guess. So we are taking over his channel. What are we going to do here?
I'm not taking over. I'm just busy answering questions in the comment section.
Oh, okay.
But we don't have control over what happens on the screen. That's a pity.
Are we back?
On the screen.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to, in a moment, get back to my friends to watch the end of the competition and to cheer some more for the Warsaw University.
Okay.
This is like, after all, this is the biggest programming competitive event in the year, so I would like to watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me here, and I will later watch the end of this stream of yours.
Okay. Well, we'll leave a link to your channel in the description, and thanks for joining us. It'll be fun to watch the end, and good luck to Warsaw for everybody that's watching on your end of things.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So let's hope Warsaw wins. Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye-bye. See ya. So guys, that was Errichto, pretty famous red coder from Codeforces, a person who's, I think, contributed a lot in terms of algorithms to his YouTube channel. So you can check that out in the description. There's another guy who's contributed a lot, and that is Code Report. I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity to talk to him, but if I do, then it'll be such an honor. But yeah, do check out the links in the description, and do ping Code Report to have a chat with Gaurav Sen, and it should be fun. Who's this on the chat, by the way? Excuse me. Who's the guy?
I've hacked in. It's Code Report.
No.
There's a couple questions that have been reiterated about which website do you think is the best website to start competitive programming for someone who has no experience?
Okay. I'll just answer first because it's been asked a million times. I think HackerRank, would probably be the best site if you're starting off. And then if you want to go for something which is slightly tougher, or a set of unique problems at a really nice regular interval, then Codeforces would be a nice place to go to later. What do you think, Conor?
Yeah, I think HackerRank is the best for beginners. One of them specifically said that they were interested in certain types of problems. I'm not sure I know HackerRank has like practice sections based on problem type, and CodeForces has you can filter by problem type. Can you do that on CodeChef? I'm not sure.
You mean easy, difficult, medium?
I mean by topic, like dynamic programming, graph theory, strings, math. I know on CodeForces you can actually filter by tag, and they have their problems tag, but I'm not sure. And I know on HackerRank they have different sections that you can go and practice dynamic programming problems. But CodeChef, I'm not sure if you have that facility. So like if people are specifically looking to focus on a certain topic, I know HackerRank you can. I know CodeForces you can. LeetCode is sort of specifically for interview questions. That's not your go-to for competitive programming.
Yeah.
TopCoder, I don't think their tag system is great. HackerEarth, I'm not sure either. But yeah, CodeChef, I would be surprised if they didn't. Maybe I'll go check right now.
CodeChef, CodeChef actually does have a tag system. So every problem is tagged by medium, the topic, maybe dynamic programming or segment trees or whatever that is. And then, yeah, you can click on those tags and go ahead. However, the original site does feel very clunky to me. Its design could be improved, and that's why I would probably suggest if you're just starting off with competitive programming, maybe HackerRank is a good idea.
Yeah, it definitely looks like
CodeChef also, of course. Yeah.
The problems are categorized by difficulty, but it doesn't seem like immediately like there's any easy way to search by problem type in terms of the topic or the category.
True, and the problems also seem like, the step that you take from absolute beginner to easy is too huge. Easy is extremely difficult from what I understand. I mean, when I used to do easy problems, they didn't seem easy. It's easy if you take 3 days at it. So yeah, that's not really the definition of easy.
Yeah, it's what was once hard always becomes easy as long as you practice.
Yeah. Okay, Mohammad Arshad says, I love Code Report. Okay. What do you have to say about that, Conor?
Thanks.
Okay,
do we still have?
Yeah.
It looks. Do we still have the scoreboard, or can you only show your screen / the scoreboard one at a time?
Sure. So I'm just having a look at the chat for 1 second. I think CodeForces is most active, and learning starts after contest is over. Yeah, that's true to a certain extent. Sumit Yadav says that, and yeah, I agree. Okay, let's share I'll just share the screen for the scoreboard.
There's another question by Ashay that says, what are the prerequisite mathematical topics for competitive programming?
Wow. That question was so hard that Conor just dropped off the chat. He didn't even feel like staying in the chat. He just dropped off. And that's what happens when you take questions too seriously. I never take questions seriously. I hear on the ICPC live stream, when I joined this chat, I saw 3 dislikes and 3 likes. And you know what I thought? I thought that my dinner is going to get delayed today because I need to speak for the next 2 hours. Had I been Mr. Beast, I would have been screaming subscribe to PewDiePie. But instead, what I'll do is not take any political stance and have a look at this scoreboard. Really, I feel like I'm so outdated. I have no idea which team is winning or which team is losing. Although I've been told that Moscow is actually winning. MIT seems to be doing well too. All right, guys. In fact, you know what? Just ask me your general questions and I'll try to answer some of them.
I'm back.
Oh, too bad. I just gave everyone an offer to find and hunt you down and then, make you pay for actually leaving the chat. So yeah. No need, guys. I take it back. Take back the prize money, the bounty, everything, the blood money, everything. Yeah. I have some basic math knowledge. You know who's winning, Conor?
So it says that they froze the scoreboard for the last 60 minutes. And on the scoreboard that they have, it still says University of Tokyo. Yeah, you're looking at the same thing I am. But if you look at the actual live cast, they're doing something slightly different. And I think if you've submitted problems, they sort of have some projected ranking.
What does projected ranking mean? I mean, how do you predict things?
I'm not sure. I think it's based on just your submissions that haven't been fully evaluated yet, but they're only showing it like once every 4 minutes on the live cast. So I haven't been paying close enough attention to ascertain what it actually means.
All right, and the contest is on, right? It's not over.
Yeah, no, it's still going on.
It's interesting. In fact, the contest also has a link to the mirror contest by Tourist, Petter, and so those two guys are extremely famous, I think.
Yeah, they're probably two of the most well-known competitive programmers.
Yeah. Petter, when did Petter stop corporate programming? I mean, when did he retire? I think he joined Google a while back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
I don't think anyone officially retires. I mean, he's still ranked number 3, I think, currently on the Codeforce's top 10 overall leaderboard. He just doesn't compete as actively anymore. I think he's got a family, he's got kids. Sort of what Errichto was saying.
Wow. Okay. That's something really commendable. I mean, being able to do corporate programming and work and have a family, that's a big deal. I'm sure we can learn time management over there.
Yeah, we can probably learn something from him for sure.
Yeah, something, yes, definitely. I know what to ask. If I meet Petter, what should I ask? I should ask the question that most people on the live chat ask. How do I start corporate programming? That'll really make Petter happy.
Yeah, he'd probably just say, just start.
I was actually asking a few people about the same question. I mean, I was asking what are the reactions to this question on how do I start corporate programming? And Unnik, who's world rank 2, I think, in Codeforces, was talking about how silly that question is and how irritated they get with stupid questions. And I was so happy hearing that because it means that I'm not alone.
Yeah, you can just start 6 websites. They're all free. It looks like there's a question: who's better, Code Report or GKCS in programming competitions? I think you're a higher rater than me. So.
No, I don't think so. What's my ranking in Code Chef? I think it's about. It was 5 stars before I moronically brought it down. But how's things moving in Code?
I've only been up to 4 stars, so you're definitely better.
You know, one other thing is that I used to do this long back, so that time it was probably easier getting the ranks, maybe, yeah.
Oh yeah, so someone mentioned in the chat that Moscow State University, that is currently ranked 3rd on the Frozen leaderboard, they've solved 10 out of 11 problems now. So
oh my God.
They've officially solved, well, it's not official because it's not going to be judged until the end of the contest now, but they've got 3 greens or seven greens and 3 blues, which puts them ahead of both the University of Tokyo and the University of Warsaw. So Warsaw has 7+2, and the University of Tokyo has 8+1. So right now, that puts Moscow State in first place if all of the problems that they've solved are indeed correct.
Wow. Let's have a look over here. So we have Moscow State over here, and they have solved. Yes, you're right. They've solved quite a few problems. How many are these? A to K. So that's. Yes, that's 11.
It's 11 in total, yeah. So pending that Moscow State University is gotten the last 3 submissions correct, they're gonna win.
Well, I don't think the 11 problem is ever solved, is it?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there has to be in the history of ICPC. There has to be a contest where all 11 problems were solved.
Okay.
No? Do you know? I don't know.
I actually don't know. But there's a lot of contests that actually keep that 11 problem just out of reach, very close. But yes, of course, it's doable. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. I mean, otherwise, Moscow can relax if they're sure about the last 3 entries. But you're right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether that's the case or not. We had Errichto actually cheering for Warsaw. Warsaw is, if you look at the tries as dones, then Warsaw is at 9 problems. They still have a theoretical chance of actually going ahead. Not just theoretical. I mean, we can't say how many Moscow has actually solved. So yeah.
Yeah, it's unclear too whether Warsaw would be ahead of Tokyo based on points, because they would both have 9 problems solved.
Tokyo, yeah. Can Tokyo actually go ahead and win this contest? I mean, theoretically, yes, but practically?
Yeah, and it says Cube in the chat says that when Gennady competed, aka when Tourist competed, he solved 11 out of 11, which, who's surprised?
That's crazy. That's insane. Wow.
Yeah, Karthik is saying now that it's happened twice in history. Once was by Gennady's team.
Oh my God, these guys are at a different level. You know, these problems are they take months to come up with. Not necessarily the final problem, but getting these problems, testing them, making sure that there's no mathematical mistakes, making sure there's no programming mistakes, in the sense that you can't get away by doing something simple, making sure that performance-wise the tests are good. It takes literally months to actually think of these questions, and these guys go there and solve them in the short time that they have, 5-6 hours. It's incredible. These guys are really Olympic level thinkers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
I think that's a really good time we are living in, you know, Conor. Yeah, so I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, I wish I had competed when I was in university. I only really discovered it in my last year of school. And like, this is something that if you want to be one of the best in the world, like you have to know about it going into university, because it takes up so much of your time, right?
Right. But even as a viewer, I think it's great just watching this stuff, watching computer programming do really well. It's a mind sport. I won't call it a sport, but it's an awesome contest. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I find it entertaining to watch. This and the Top Coder Open are pretty fun. And we have a question from Ashay again, asking, is Tourist still active? And yeah, he's #1 on Top Coder and on Code Forces. So.
And Tourist also came for the Snackdown contest that I was asking him a few questions, so he's definitely very, very active.
Yeah.
I was talking to Umnik about this, and Umnik is I think rank 2 on Code Forces. He was talking about there's just one computer programmer who probably is able to make enough money while just doing computer programming, and that is Tourist. So yeah, he's definitely active.
Wow. There's a comment from Karthik again, the individual who mentioned that it's happened twice in history, and there's apparently a question and answer on Quora, and it says that the ACM committee said that they're committed to never letting it happen again, it referring to 11 out of 11 problems being solved. So that's sort of interesting. So their goal is to have nobody solve every problem.
Whoa.
Which seems a bit evil.
I think Muqtadir has also asked for a link. People are asking for a link in which they can see the live stream. So yeah, that's the link over there. You can go and have a look.
We can also put, so yeah, we can just leave, we can leave this live stream, and then you can do most of the talking so that people can, if we want even, we can turn, are you able to stream the volume from that live stream?
Yeah, of course. I could.
We can just sit back and listen to them and just comment every once in a while.
It would be quite interesting if Warsaw, after early lead, wouldn't even get the gold medals.
Would be quite sad, yeah. They had an amazing.
Is this audible?
And,
5-2.
Yeah, I can hear it.
5-2,
okay.
And then on 7 tasks, they had a great lead in the penalty time as well.
They finished them in 2 hours, yes.
Yeah. Now they seem to struggle on the difficult task. But judges. Which
well, several difficult tasks actually.
Why don't you tell our users something about your experience as a judge? So the selection process of the problems right now that you're a part of it, I know you are for the first time, but what is it that the judges consider when selecting a problem? Do you have any idea about that?
So there are multiple things that they look in problems, because a problem set is
I'm just checking for some Indian universities anyway.
Task that makes or breaks the contest.
I saw IT
you have to
Kanpur
have
once.
tasks that are relatively simple. You have to have tasks that are difficult.
There is no prescribed syllabus for a World Finals, right? So,
No,
so
not at
how do you
all.
make sure that this I can pick, this I cannot, or something?
I mean, everything is fair game in World Finals, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so you see that there are tasks that use a bit of math, and there are tasks that are more focused on data structures, for instance, directing rainfall, and so on. So I wouldn't say that there is a recipe for making tasks that will be accepted.
Yeah. But there would be a recipe, but when as judges we are selecting problems, right? So how do you decide whether we should select implementation heavy problem or elegant problem, which is an elegant solution?
So the first round of selection is done by the older judges.
Older judges
that are there for a couple of years already. They select a short list of problems, and those are the problems that we work on throughout the rest of the year.
Okay.
And
but the rest of the year, for one whole year?
It's about 5 to 6 months.
5 to 6 months.
Of course, not full time.
Yeah, of course.
But when we come here, we have a selection of, say, 15 to 17 tasks that are in a good state of preparation, and we know that they are useful for the World Finals. And here we make the final selection based on the fact that maybe there are some issues with some tasks and we don't want to select it, or maybe some tasks are too similar, or we worry about the difficulty one way or the other.
Is topic a criteria? Because there can be multiple topics, right? So do the judges consider that? They should be from a different topic. Each one.
We try to avoid tasks that are too similar. For instance, this year we had 2 tasks that were using kind of similar approach. They were on different levels of difficulty, but the overall techniques used were somewhat similar. So we decided to.
They should be very different.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you balance the difficulty? That's the hardest part, I think.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. And, I don't think there is a good recipe for that. You go with your instinct. You see how much time it took to judge it.
So Conor, I'll just take a few questions from the live chat. I think there are some over here. There's Karan Gujar who's asking that there's 2030. I mean, his rating is 2030, and how does he go to the next level? Any ideas? Because that's a pretty high rating, I think. So you're somewhere around the intermediate mark, and you're looking for the advanced level, which is, I think, pretty hard. You're going for red, basically. Yeah. So, Karan, do you have any suggestions over there, Conor? Because this is one of the difficult bits that people, when they reach a point that they can just run ahead and get to, they hit a plateau, and they're really upskill themselves.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is really the same at the intermediate and beginner level. Like, compete in the contests. Like, Code Forces has both Division 1s, which have harder problems, and then post contest focus on the problems that you weren't able to solve. Like, unless if you're top 10 or top 100 or whatever on these sites, they're still going to have problems that you're not able to solve. So focus on the ones that you can solve. And a lot of times that's going to involve learning new algorithms, and that's how you're going to scale up. Like, once you get to that sort of elite level, it's about collecting all the different algorithms that are used to solve the more advanced problems. Whereas, like, sort of at the intermediate beginner level, they're just general algorithms that you can apply to a wide swath of problems. At the expert level, it's like collecting all the Dijkstra's, different versions of shortest path, etc. What would you say?
To be very honest with you, I am not very sure, because I've never reached a level which is, let's say, the top programmer in India, the top programmer in the world. or even the top, let's say, 100 programmers in the world. So, but I have gone from medium to slightly advanced, and my understanding is that the theory gets really difficult, and you can't just keep solving and keep learning the theory along the way. There comes a point when you need to take some time and practice and get good at actually programming the things that you're learning, which is a long procedure, because first you learn the theory, then you actually practice it, then you meet it in the contest and then solve it. So there's a point when you can get to a certain point quite easily because everything is logical and everything is solvable, and after a certain point of time it becomes all about your special weapons. So there's a lot of special weapons that you need to learn about, a lot of special algorithms, and learning that and solving those questions is hard, because making progress is not dependent anymore on the amount of time you're putting in. It's also dependent on what kind of problems are coming ahead and how good you are at retaining all the things that you're learning. So I think it's a good procedure. Yeah,
that's good advice. And it looks like the contest is over.
Wow. Let's have a look. Tokyo contest is over. Okay. Interesting. Yes, it does look like the contest is over. Okay. So
maybe we should tune in to see what they're
what they're talking about. Okay, we're very close to the contest ending, I think. It's the last few minutes.
Yeah, so my problem, unfortunately, didn't make it to the shortlist. Oh, maybe next year.
It's over.
Okay.
And IIT Kanpur is at 72.
That's a question.
It's really good.
Feels there like
IIT Bombay is at 64. Wow. Superb, IIT Bombay.
What do you think?
Cube mentioned that the 3 problems that Moscow State had solved showed on their screen that they got them AC'd.
Now I think that we will get some interesting.
So you can see that on their scoreboard right now, the yellow ones are the ones that are tentative, but they do show Moscow State in first place.
Okay.
I see.
For the Indians watching this, IIT Roorkee is at rank 42. That's incredible.
Thanks everyone for watching us. In 2.5 hours, we will have a closing ceremony. Join us again to see who is the ultimate winner, who will get the gold, who will get the medals, who will get the Super Region Championship titles, and we hope to see you again then in 1 year in what is likely Moscow.
Yeah, Moscow.
Thank you, Anut, for joining me today.
Thank you, Igor, for your amazing analytics and insight into the problems. And thank you, Mikkel, a lot more for being here. And thanks, everyone, to the audience for being here. I think you have been an amazing audience.
Thank you, and see you again.
See you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. The interesting thing over there is that there's a lot of Indian teams that I can see. I didn't.
Yeah, someone in the chat said that there were 8 from India.
8 from India, and at really good rankings. Let's search for IIT, and we are seeing. I can't actually see anything apart from one IIT. So how about searching for Bombay? Oh yes. So Bombay, and I think I saw Roorkee really high. So this is an Indian institute, IIT Roorkee, and it's doing really well. Wow. And Madras has done even better. It's at rank 41. Incredible. I'm really stunned by the leaps and bounds that we are progressing. I mean, the really great work that's going on in the universities in India when it comes to computer programming and the ranks that they're actually able to secure. It's astounding, because earlier, I don't know if we have performed this well, but rank 40 in the world is a pretty good rank. Are there any Canadian universities that you're following, Conor? Tell me, guys. Conor has left the live chat, guys. He left because India is doing rather well, and yeah, that must be the reason. So when you're not sure, assume. That's what the corporate programmer does. Karan says IIT Madras has Teja Vardhan, the highest rated coder of India. That's interesting. Do you know his handle, CodeChef handle? IIT Patna is at 102. That's good. That's very good. Rank 41, like I said, IIT Roorkee, incredible. Rohit Agarwal says Rohit Agarwal has actually mentioned all the ranks that the Indian teams have secured. So guys, how did you like the contest? I mean, did you watch the contest, or are you more interested in who won? Or if you're from India, then are you interested in seeing the Indian teams do well? What's the main motivation you have for actually watching this kind of contest? Okay, and Karan and Sonak have actually posted their posted a link of Teja, so we can have a look at that too. It's India's highest ranked coder from the looks of things. Yep, pretty high, pretty smart, I'm sure. Whoa. Conor, like I was just mentioning, that are there any teams that you're following in this contest?
No, not specifically. I mean, I studied in Vancouver and UBC, the University of British Columbia. I think when I last checked, they were like 47th or something.
47?
Yeah, so the UBC placed 40th according to...
oh, just ahead of IIT Madras. Damn it.
Yes, so that's pretty good. But it's actually surprising, like that the top Western university is ranked 20th, and that's Harvard. I mean, you would assume between Harvard, Stanford, UT Austin.
What about MIT? MIT is at rank 4, I think.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I missed that. Never mind. So I guess there is a top 10 Ivy League school.
Yeah. Yeah, MIT does have a lot of good corporate programmers. I spoke to a few of them, and yeah, super smart people. University of Texas, Austin. Rank 20 is Harvard. Yes. Interesting. So St. Petersburg ITMO University is at rank 32. I think this is a really famous university, and it being ranked at 32 is a indication of how difficult the contest actually is.
Yeah, it is arguably the most difficult contest in the world.
Yeah, I think after cycling in the Olympics, this comes somewhere. Maybe 500 ranks below cycling. And I'm not making fun of computer programming, guys, but honestly, like Olympics is, well, I haven't done any, so I shouldn't be commenting. So yeah, I think I'll keep comparisons out of this now. Especially negative comparisons. There's something that I love to do, but in private, of course. Kennedy goes to ITMO. Akshay Srivastav is saying that Kennedy is actually a student of ITMO. No wonder I heard of this. So, okay. Once Kennedy has left, I think it's performed well. It's done well, but not able to win, which is of course really difficult. University of Tokyo is first. Kunwar Pratap Singh asks us. Not really. We can't be sure. The blue boxes that you see over here are tentative results, tentative submissions, which have not yet been accepted. They have just been registered. So University of Warsaw has 9 submissions, out of which 7 are definitely accepted. You can have a look at Moscow. Moscow again has the same number of submissions, or rather Moscow has the same number of accepted results, but they have 3 submissions. If all 3 are accepted, then Moscow will get 10 points and win. Tokyo, if their submission is accepted, they'll go to 9. If not, they'll stay at 8. And Tokyo seems to be probably definitely making the top 5. Yeah. I would say I think they'll make the top 5 definitely, because the rest of the teams, even if they do solve the same number of problems, if they solve 8 problems, they're still going to find it difficult to meet the time that Tokyo took to solve the 8. What do you think, Conor? Who do you think will win this time?
I think Moscow State University, if the viewer Cube is correct. He said that he saw on their screen, but I'm not even sure if they're notified whether they got them correct.
No, I don't think so. They just get a submission registered, or rather submission has been accepted by the system but has not been validated or checked. So I'm not very sure if that's the case.
But yeah, my guess is Moscow State University first, University of Warsaw second, and University of Tokyo third.
Mm-hmm.
Rajath in the chat asks, what's the age limit to participate? And I believe Errichto said it was 24, but there's also other criteria. So you can only compete 5 times at the national level and 2 times at the world level. So once you exhaust those, even if you're below 24, you can't compete anymore.
24 is a pretty hard limit that they have. So interesting. But I guess if you're doing your masters, you should complete within 24. Most people will have completed by 24. So yeah. What about PhD students? They never get a chance, I guess.
I've heard that there's some sort of exceptions, like if you never competed when you were younger, but I've never looked into them.
Oh, there's this university, Tsinghua University. It seems to be doing really well. The score that they have over here is 1252. I wonder what this is. It's odd. I mean, apart from the score of 8, what does the 1029 mean?
Oh, so the higher that is.
And just like CNN, we cut off Conor again because I don't like Conor, and I don't like anyone speaking in a live stream apart from me. So I thought let's get him out before he makes an important point and you forget my voice. Time penalty. Okay, so if that is time penalty, that means that the more you have, the worse it is. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's bad. Okay, sorry. No wonder they're at the end, because where's that team? Okay, yes, the time penalty is increasing for the same score, and yeah, okay, that makes sense. So University of Tokyo actually has taken a lot of time. I mean, the time penalty is pretty.
Sorry, did you hear that, Gaurav?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you hear the explanation of the time penalty?
No.
Oh, so I was saying, I guess I cut out that you want your number of problems solved to be high, but your time penalty to be low. So if you solve your first problem in 10 minutes, you'll have one problem solved and then a time penalty of 10. And if you solve your next problem 10 minutes after that, you add 20 minutes to your total time penalty and you'll have 2 problems solved. So in total, you'll have 2 problems and 30 minutes of time penalty. So the higher the time penalty, the worse. So that means when you see someone down at the bottom that they solved all of their problems really late.
What do you think about University of Warsaw's chances? I mean, let's say Moscow and University of Warsaw both solved 9 problems. And Moscow has 1 wrong out of the ones that they have tried. So if that does happen, if Moscow gets 1 wrong, will Warsaw win? And I'm assuming, of course, that Warsaw gets both right.
It's hard to tell because if you look at University of Warsaw, they have 11 incorrect tries on problem C and 8 incorrect tries on problem K. So even though currently they have a better time penalty than Moscow State, with one of their problems accepted, like it's hard to tell because you get a time penalty per wrong submission, right? So we'd have to get out a calculator.
I think there's a problem. Even if they solve the same number of problems, it looks like Moscow will overtake them.
Yeah. We have a question from Harsh Patel. Do we need to be a student for this exam, or even after study can we attend? So yeah, you have to be a university student, which is the unfortunate thing. So probably the second biggest tournament or contest after this is the Top Coder Open, which happens once a year, and that's open to anyone. Although typically it is the people that are competing in ICPC or that formerly competed in ICPC that make it to that final contest. But yeah, everyone's open to compete in the TCO, but not for ICPC.
When are they going to be announcing the results of this?
I think they said 2.5 hours. So yeah, we can probably take a couple more questions and then end the live stream, and then we can just post, or I'll post a video on Sunday announcing. But for those interested, obviously just stay tuned. There's going to be another live stream, I think, in a couple hours covering the closing ceremony.
That'll be fun.
So yeah, if you've got questions, ask them in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, and keep it relevant to this live stream, guys, if you can. I do raise zoo animals, but this is not the place to ask it. That's just that joke.
Question,
okay, go on.
A question from Karan Gujar, or just mentioning that, yeah, the Google Code Jam. It starts soon. I don't have any tips. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Google Code Jam starts tomorrow. So yeah, be sure to compete in that. I'm not sure if Gaurav, if you have any tips.
Yeah, just participate, and I don't really know. There's no tips as such. It's a contest which is fun. If you're looking to win, it's going to be a hard thing. And if you're looking to win, it's a different thing. But of course, try to do your best. It has a slightly different feel compared to the normal contest that people participate in. So it's got a large input and a small input. I'm not sure if that still is valid, but it's quite interesting because Google Code Jam usually has some interesting problems. So it should be fun actually solving these things.
Harsh Patel asked, are we competing? Are you competing, Gaurav?
No. I work for Uber, and Google is a competitor, so they must be crushed.
I will be competing.
I can't crush them through computer programming. I have to crush them in other ways. So yeah. I'm sorry, Conor, you were saying something.
No, I just said I'll be competing, but I'm not going to be making it anywhere close to the final stage. So just for fun.
What do you think about the quality of problems in the various contests that you're participating in? Which one do you think is the best or the most fun?
Of what? The online contests?
Yeah, especially these large-scale contests like Hacker Cup and Code Jam, and we both haven't participated in ICPC. So maybe you've seen Snackdown, maybe you've seen like large scale is probably Code Jam and Hacker Cup. So yeah, which one do you like amongst these guys?
Yeah, I have to say my least favorite is Code Jam because they have a lot of times they have like interactive problems, and I'm not a big fan of interactive problems where you back and forth, you have to submit and sort of rely on what the next piece of input. And I'm not a big fan of those because they're very hard to test. You have to basically like simulate what you think the output will be based on like a custom input that you've come up with. And so those problems irritate me. Probably my favorite one is the Top Coder Open. I really like the fact that their contests are always 75 minutes, which is not that long. And there are only 3 problems. And then they have the neat sort of challenge phase where you end up sort of being forced to look at other people's code, and you a lot of times can end up learning things there. Facebook Hacker Cup, theirs is really good too. I haven't participated in the Code Chef Snackdown. I actually only discovered that this year, but they haven't been putting their contest on every year. But yeah, this upcoming year, if they have a Snackdown 2020, I'll definitely be trying to compete in that.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Have you competed? Like, what's your favorite of them?
I have to say it's probably Code Jam. So I actually like Code Jam, but yes, I do agree that the input and output thing is a little different. It wasn't so interactive earlier. Earlier, they just used to give us a file, and we would print our output onto another file and then upload that, and that would be the contest. Is it very different now? Do they give you one input and then wait for another one?
Yeah, I remember last year when I competed, I think I got past the qualifiers, and then maybe I can't remember what stage I stopped at, but like the problem just irritated me because there was so much finagling with the input. Like there was a whole instruction section on how to read the input correctly. And I don't want to have to deal with input, like reading input. I just want to solve the problem. But not all the problems are like that.
What about the distributed Code Jam thing? Have you participated in that?
I've not, no. That's something on my long list of things to do. But yeah, I've only been competing in just the single core ones.
So there's a lot of people asking us to contact them.
Well, it says that, do you have any social media platforms? So I think on Twitter, you're GKCS_.
Yeah, you can hit me on Twitter. If you just go on the channel, just go on the channel page, and there's some links on the banner. So you can click on those. I'm there on Facebook. You can just click on show more in the description instead of asking these comments. But yeah, there's all those links down there. And the penalty for actually asking such stupid questions is to actually buy a course on AlgoExpert so that I get some cash out of it. So yeah. Conor, what do you think?
Sounds good.
Yeah, would you like to actually just share your links on the chat, perhaps?
Yeah, well, my Twitter is the same as my YouTube channel, _code report. But yeah, similar to you, just go to literally any one of my videos, and I think I have all of my platform links there. So I'm not going to spam the chat with all the different stuff. But if you guys want to follow me on that stuff, yeah, just look at one of my videos.
I think it's really good to have multiple mediums to contact people, because whenever I have a live stream, I usually go on Facebook and then post the link over there. So if you'd like, you can go and click the like on the Facebook page. That way you're up to date about all the news things which are going on. Quora is a place where I post answers which are which you can't just say on video. I mean, you have to think over them, edit them, constantly improve on that answer, maybe add an image. That's the place where I use for Quora. LinkedIn is a professional network, and Twitter's of course fun, and also you can post notifications over there quite easily. Conor, do you use a lot of social media outlets, or is it just Twitter and YouTube?
Yeah, I think I'm on like 6 different platforms. I'm on Quora as well. I think, yeah, YouTube obviously is what I'm most active on, but I tweet a lot. I'd say 50% of my tweets are on contest announcements, and then 50% of the tweets are just like, I spend a lot of time watching lectures and doing problems and posting solutions and stuff. So yeah, Twitter and YouTube, and then I'm on the other platforms, but not as actively. I mean, I usually will log into Quora like once every month or 2 months and answer a few questions, and then check it another 2 months later. I think if you spend too much time on social media, it's detrimental to your health. So I try to
agree, absolutely.
Try to limit it.
I've seen people get into depression once they have a lot of followers, and a lot of followers are expecting a lot of things, and then they get tied up saying that, okay, I need to do this, I need to post this answer on Quora because it's very important, it's going to save the world. And yeah, it's a tough thing to manage time then.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've sort of talked about this in a couple live streams before. It's I mean, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, just stop. Like a lot of way bigger YouTubers, they're just like, they say, oh, they get burnt out and they feel all this pressure. And I think the mistake is that people make this like their primary source of income. But that's the thing, is if it's just like a side thing, and like as soon as the day occurs where I'm miserable making videos and I'm not learning from it anymore, I'm just going to stop and just say, oh, you know, or maybe not stop completely, but I just say, hey, I'm taking a break for however long, and if you guys want solutions, you can just go, you know, check the past videos.
Absolutely, and that's actually a very wise thing. You know, what you're saying is absolutely correct, because if you have your primary source of income based on a platform which you don't own, it's a very risky thing to do. And YouTube is not really a place that you can get a lot of money out of. If you use the same amount of skill somewhere else, usually, especially for software engineers, you know, they can get a lot more from companies like Amazon and Uber than they can from YouTube. So unless you have 1 million subscribers, I don't know how you're going to reach 1 million subscribers posting sensible videos, but yeah, it's going to be a tough battle.
Yeah, I mean, we're both a pretty niche. You know, we're never going to reach millions and millions. Like, there's not that many people interested. Maybe in 20 years, like, there'll be a lot more interest, and there's going to be a lot more technology jobs and people trying to get it into big companies. But yeah, I mean, it's a very niche thing we're doing here.
Absolutely, and in 20 years, there's going to be somebody else who's posting videos. For us to sustain 20 years of YouTube is going to be a big challenge. Do we still find it exciting 20 years later? I'm not sure, because it's just been 5 years from college, and a lot of things about me have changed. YouTube hasn't changed, but a lot of things about me have changed, and I can't say 20 years later when I'll be near 50, basically, 45, 50, basically.
Yeah, I mean, once I've got, I'm sure at some point we're going to both have more important things to do than making all these YouTube videos. There's a question that someone asked, how come I'm in my solution videos, I cover languages like Go and Haskell? Yeah, like that specifically speaks to what I just said. Like, a part of the reason I make videos is so that I can learn and that it's fun for me. And like, currently one of my big interests is learning different programming language. So like Haskell, I'm pretty sure Haskell is my favorite language. I used to be a huge C++ fan. I still love C++, but I'm having so much fun writing Haskell code. Like last night, I literally posted a tweet last night showing that I solved like 5 or 6 problems on Code Forces using Haskell, and it's just so much fun. So like, maybe that's not, you know, the viewers aren't as interested in seeing Haskell solutions, but tough luck. I'm having fun doing it. So I'll still post the C++ and the Python and the Java solutions. But you know, it's what I have fun doing. So
Yeah, once you you're the controller of the channel, so yeah, you can do whatever you like.
Shay is asking, have you met Gennady? So yeah, you just recently met him at the Coach F Snackdown, right?
Yeah, there was I did take his interview. I did, ask him questions that I had prepared. I had actually posted a video about it for a while, and that was fun. It was interesting. But yes, it was a great experience actually, talking to Gennady, talking about computer programming, about Russia's strong presence in the computer programming field. Also talking about how computer programming how is it related to getting a job. And let's see if we can post that sometime later. I'm waiting on Code Chef actually to post that video. So it's an interesting video, but yeah, I guess I'll have to wait for a while now. What do you think, Conor? Have you met any computer programmers in your vicinity, or have you met them in person, or is it just on the competitions?
I met Lewin Gan, who's a top competitive programmer. He's also in the Bay Area, which is where I currently live and work. So yeah, there's people you meet. It's easier to meet people virtually online, right? So
yeah, it's much easier, and also it's easier not to have a profile picture. That way, no one can say that who's this guy.
Yeah. I tried to promote the brand instead of myself. So maybe that someday I can just pass it off to someone else, and then no one will notice that just find someone with a similar voice to me, and they'll think I'm still posting.
Yeah, that's a smart idea, but I don't know if that'll work. Suddenly, the voice change might actually send people. Make them ask questions. Okay, guys, I think we can take the final 2 questions, Conor. If that's, I think we can.
All right, yeah.
Live stream after some time.
1 or 2 more questions. Let's see. Let's find a good one.
I think let's continue till 10 o'clock, and then we can quit the live.
Well, oh yeah. I guess 10 o'clock for you is. I was like, that's 40 minutes from now, but it's 7 minutes from now. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
7 more minutes of
question and answer rings. How to learn compared programming from scratch? What all things must be learned just to compile points? Advait Joshi actually made a really good point by saying that Gaurav always speaks about mastering only one language. Why is everyone asking this language, that language? And then he comes up with, how do I start computer programming? And I don't know what to say. You just start, yeah, like Conor said.
Yeah, I would say too, don't be like me and learn a bunch of languages. That's just what I am personally interested in. It's not helpful getting into a technology company to know 20 different languages. I would agree with Gaurav, just master one language, because they're going to ask you, which language do you want to interview in, and you really want to show your expertise in that language. The only reason I'm learning other languages is just because it's just like a hobby of mine. Like the same people like to play video games. Like I like to learn about different programming languages. So yeah, listen to Gaurav when it comes to that. One language, being an expert at one language is better than knowing 10 languages poorly, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Swastik has been asking this question for a very long time. Do Indian companies hire people who don't have CS degree? It's a stupid question, Swastik, and you can do better, but I'll answer yes, they do. All right. Rohit Agrawal, apparently Rust has inbuilt segment trees. Wow, really? Is that, Conor might know about this because you know a lot of languages. What do you think, Conor? Does it have segment trees? I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, there's this database, Elasticsearch, and it has segment trees inbuilt for range queries. And when I read about that, I was just like, wow, this is brilliant. So segment trees in the language itself, that's quite interesting. Pawan Kushwa says, did you watch the ICPC live streaming? It was really motivating and interesting. Yes, we did. So it was fun, actually. In fact, the whole live stream was based on that. So yeah. I'm a class 11 student, want to be placed in Google or Amazon. So Pradosh C. Mitter asks us a question which is quite similar to, in India, there's a very famous institute called Indian Institute of Technology. It's a set of institutes. And people say that I'm in 11th, I'm in 10th, I'm in 10th grade, and can I get there? And then it goes to an extreme level where I'm a kid, can I get there? I'm 7 years old, can I get there? And then it becomes I'm a sperm, I still haven't actually been born yet, or actually haven't done anything yet, but is it too late to start studying for IIT? So that's exactly what I'd like to say. You want to get into Google or Amazon, you're probably aiming completely weirdly. You should aim for a good institute right now, and then figure out which which stream you want to get into, whether it's computer science, mechanical, whatever you like. And after that, once you want a job, then you select a company, or rather you select the job that is. Google does not make any sense. Working at Google means you're working for a company, but if you're working in Google at a particular system, that makes more sense. So figure out what you want to work in. A lot of what I said might not make sense to you at this age, because like you said, you're a class 11 student, so there's a long way to go, and that's good. Your questions will get better, Pradosh. Conor, do you think I'm getting very salty?
No, but Rohit said he was cracking up.
What's Rohit saying? Do we need to get after him?
No, he said you made him laugh.
No, I'm just joking. Rohit, thanks. There's a certain point after which you start getting you stop caring about being nice, and you just feel like making a point. So yeah, maybe that point has reached. 10 o'clock is too close. So yeah, thank God for that. Conor, when people ask you questions, do you make it an active, did you promise yourself that you'll be nice, or do you sometimes just unleash?
I don't know. I'm a pretty positive person. So regardless of the question, I don't know. If there's silly questions, I'll just skim over them. But I don't know. I was sort of in the same position as a lot of these people that were like, oh, I want to get into a tech company. What's the best way to do it, et cetera, et cetera. That's what there's one person asking, can I do it in 2 months, or what's the best way? And it's just I don't know. Don't set expectations like that for yourself. Just, with any amount of time and preparation, you can do anything. So maybe it'll take longer than 2 months. Maybe it'll take 2 months, but just practice on LeetCode, and you covered, go watch the last live stream where you covered sort of the 5 different topics. Subscribe to Gaurav's videos. They're great. They cover a lot of system design stuff, which tend to be the hardest part of technical interviews, I think, for a lot of people. Yeah, it's just a matter of time and work. And if you put that in, you'll be successful at the end of the day.
Yeah, what Conor says is absolutely correct, especially the part where subscribe to Gaurav's videos. That's pretty important,
It is important.
It's a secret to getting into Google, guys. Now share this video, go ahead, and more importantly, ask people to subscribe to this channel, because that's what this channel exists for. It exists for people to subscribe to it, and then, no, of course not, I'm just joking. So I think it's 10 o'clock. I'm waiting for my Google results, guys. Wish me luck. Rohit Agarwal, best of luck. I'm sure you'll do really well, and Google will be lucky to have you. If not, then you can always apply for lots of other companies too. Yeah, Elasticsearch segment tree using Naman. You can search that on Google. I really don't have the link with me right now, so have a look. And I think, yes, we have answered as many questions as we possibly could. So, Conor, would you like to give your closing remarks? on the ICPC and everything else in general?
Yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks to Gaurav for doing another live stream. Maybe we'll do this again next year, and I don't know, as time goes on, maybe we'll figure out a way to make it more interactive, or we'll get to the point where we can do something similar to Piotr and Tourist. Not as good, but maybe more entertaining.
Yeah. Maybe we can join them or ask them to join us, because I'm sure they have a massive reach, but who knows? A year later, where our channels will be, they might have a pretty large reach themselves, and yeah, it will be fun actually. It'll be just great fun talking to them. So yeah, thank you all for visiting us. Thanks, Conor, for coming, and for being awesome as always. We'll see you next time then. Bye bye.
All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.